guys, this is Nate Voices. I'm back with another video. I first wanted to start off this video by saying thank you for the support and thank you for whoever is here and still watching me. You mean a lot to me, and I get to keep doing what I'm doing because of your support, because of your love. And although we may not personally know each other, I'm very thankful for you, and I really appreciate your presence. To allow me to get my thoughts out and convey them to you is an honor. And I appreciate you for coming here to listen to me and still be around. Thank you to 21 of you. I didn't even imagine I'd get this far, and I was terrified of starting this channel because I thought people wouldn't believe my experiences, people wouldn't want to hear my experiences. But thank you for reassuring me on that. Thank you for giving me love on that. The topic I wanted to discuss today is how a spiritual awakening will show you what your reality truly is. And everything that I tell you all is something I'm still learning myself, or something I've just recently learned. I'm just sharing my journey with you all. And whatever you take from that is whatever you take from it. But yes, a spiritual awakening isn't what it's been made to be. A spiritual awakening is like a tower moment. It hits you so hard that your whole world seems to be falling apart or turning just so much around that whatever is around you at the time just doesn't make sense. A spiritual awakening puts you in a position where you see truth for what it is, basically. That's what a spiritual awakening will do. You will see how even you've been the perpetrator of your own chaos. And sometimes that's a hard ass pill to swallow, but it's something we must come to know. If we're the ones orchestrating our pain and our suffering, that's something in ourselves we must confront. And this is something I'm learning to do. Everything I tell you isn't to make it seem like I know everything, because I don't. I'm always in the process of learning. I'm always discovering and learning. I just come here to share this with you, so maybe you find comfort in your next steps, or you get the answers you need through simply this video. But going back to the spiritual awakening, it isn't something that's fun. It's something that's actually very painful, because your reality shifts. It's not the same anymore. Whatever lie or whatever experiences you've been pretending to live, or you used to live, you're being now called to either walk away from the experience, improve the experience, or something else entirely. It depends on what level you're at in your life, and just what level you are at in your life, and how far you've come mentally, emotionally, and etc. All these things. The spiritual awakening is no joke. It's something we all have to repeatedly go through, because it's a lesson with every awakening that we experience. And you have the free will to walk away from the awakening and keep repeating, or you have the choice to accept the awakening and evolve. All that is up to you. And if you choose to repeat, the lessons get even more painful and painful and painful, because you've consciously chosen to reallow, I don't know if those are words, but we're rolling with it, but to re-accept and reallow what the universe has been trying to teach you not to accept, not to allow. The universe pushes us in different directions to help us understand what it is we need in our lives, what it is our souls need in our lives, need in this lifetime, I should say. And when you reject that calling, the universe slaps you on the ass for it. It's like a fucking spanking. You know, you don't get to walk in life not being held accountable for what you do. No one is special. In this plane of existence, we are all treated accordingly and fairly. And if there's something in your life that you're not willing to change, the universe is going to punish you for that. Because on a conscious level, no matter who or what you are or what you're going through, we all know when and what we've done wrong and what we've done right. It's recorded in your heart space. And you're constantly reminded by certain things because you've either never had closure about it, you've never healed from it, you've never confronted it. Your mind and your body, your soul will constantly do play-by-plays for you to confront the issue you've constantly avoided. This is something I am coming to learn. You cannot avoid your traumas. You cannot avoid your past. You cannot avoid you. These are things you must confront within yourself and accept and learn to love and heal. You can't walk around with trauma and expect your abundance or your reality to come in. It just can't happen like that because there's a blockage. We have to remove the blockages to accept new energy, new realities. You have to first make room for the things you want in your life. And if you're not willing to let them go, well, you're going to be put through that cycle again and again until you learn to let them go. And if you just don't, then the world is just going to deal with you how it deals with you. It's plain and simple. This is why the shadow work is important. And I know people don't like to hear that word, but it's necessary. You cannot evolve without the shadow work. You cannot evolve without holding the accountability within self. This is something you must do. You cannot evolve without holding self accountable because you need to know what areas you have failed in, where you have been the orchestrator of the chaos, where you have been the perpetrator, where you have been the bully, where you have been the cause of the suffering. You have to know these things because if you don't, you will walk around projecting this constantly on everyone else. And the world and the universe just straight up isn't going to tolerate that. They're going to keep trying to teach you and educate you until you really truly understand what it is they're trying to tell you. And this is all out of love. The universe never does this out of spite. This is to hold you and others accountable for what you and others do. And if we weren't held accountable, this world would just fall the fuck apart because there would be nobody to face what they've done. We all must face what we do at the end of the day. Your reality has to shift for you to evolve. You have to be willing to sacrifice. That is the demand of evolution. You can't stay attached to things that no longer serve you. You have to be willing to discard them as they have discarded you. And this is not no revenge play or because you did, I'm gonna do it back to you. No, it's nothing like that. It's simply an energetic law you must follow. When something no longer is benefiting you, that is when you are called to release those things. And when you don't, you will be put in turmoil and suffering. It's not easy, but it's very simple. Not easy, but it's very simple. This is something you have to find the inner strength and love to do for yourself. This cannot be on the behalf of someone else. It has to come from you, within you. You have to want to heal. You have to want to move on. You have to want to confront. Nobody can't force you to do that. We all have the free will. We all have free will. You can't force anybody to do it. They have to want these things for themselves. And I'm learning that myself. I have to want to heal for myself. I have to want to love for myself. All of it starts with you. When you came from the spark, from the source, that started with you. You came here with you. That energy came with you first. And then you interacted with everything else. But it always starts with you. That is why if you don't do it, nobody else will do it for you, because you can't even do it yourself. You will not receive the blessings or the support you want unless you do this work. You have to see where you're failing to see where you can succeed. Your reality must change for you to change. You are thrown into a different perspective so you can learn something new about yourself that you didn't know before. So you can gain awareness and ascend in that awareness. You can't stay the same. Nothing and no one can. Everything has to change to a certain degree to thrive. When you stay the same, you're not living. You're not thriving. You're not evolving. This earth, Gaia, Kai, however you want to call her, Mother Nature, this earth is a spiritual dojo, and it is here to teach you to evolve. This is the evolutionary law of this plane of existence, of this planet. You cannot live here unless you evolve or change. That is the law of this world. And on different worlds, it's different. There's different laws on different worlds. Sometimes you can stay the same on some worlds. Sometimes you can only change to a certain degree on some worlds. But in this plane of existence, change is demanded of us, required of us. In order to receive, you must sacrifice. You must change to a certain degree. You have to be willing to let go of what's no longer teaching you. If you're seeing a repetitive pattern in something, that lets you know there's no longer nothing else to learn there. You've taken your lessons that you needed from this thing or this person. Now it's time to move on to the next thing or next person. You have to learn to release and stop becoming attached to things. It's okay to love things, but it's not okay to be attached to things, because the attachments slow down the evolution. The attachments is what makes you stuck. Is what keeps you from your soul's purpose, your soul's experience. Your soul signs up for certain things before it gets here. And those things are what you currently are struggling with now. For example, my soul signed up to learn about love, the meaning of love, in all of its aspects. I'm learning currently self-love, and I'm learning to receive and accept that love. And I'm learning to also give that love. And another thing